I think the best way to describe what success is for me now, or maybe what my why is now, um, at that moment when I was on the podium and I had the medal around my neck and I felt empty or dissonant, um, I realized in that moment that there was something so there's something else that I wanted to do other than what I was doing. I kind of took stock of the 30 years of work that I had done. I think that, what I recognized is that uh, what I really want, what I really care about is um, I want organizations to operate and run in a healthy way and in a way that is people centered. Unfortunately, I worked in a lot of places that are not. And I want the people working in these organizations to uh, themselves operate in a healthy way and in a way that is aligned and purposeful and you know tied to their agency, right? I think a lot of people sort of they go with the flow in their careers and they just do what society deems is important or conform to like a societal version of success, definition of success, and not everyone has the courage to buck that. So one thing I want to do is help people, inspire people, give them the courage to see their own ability to do that, number one. And number two, influence organizations who are in the business of doing the things that I used to do, right? Where they're really fixated on the operational aspects to broaden the lens and think really about the engine of it all as people and fundamentally understanding people. So those two things were really like what I got from unpacking and being honest with myself about what I wanted to do with my life.
I think back to kind of the track analogy too, you hear about the rat race, right? As a
Mm-hmm.
that's an old metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
imagine that you have just been pulled off the street and you were dropped onto the track and, you know, go, right? You're running a race you didn't even necessarily want to be in. You're chasing a podium finish that might not be fulfilling, right? What I'm hearing from you, it it's like you went through a process of defining what your podium would be. What does it mean to stand on a different podium? You got off of that podium, you're standing on a different podium, you're pursuing a different podium. And I hear you talking too about wanting to bring other people up with you. So the concept that we were talking about for our podcast, and thank you for kind of sharing your story, because I think it's illustrative of this concept of a new kind of podium for you, right? For people who are defining their own path, whether they have been unfulfilled in their path before or they're just starting out. Um, you always want to know why you're doing what you're doing, what the why is, right? So the concept of what we're doing here and what you're doing, what we're helping other people do. I'm also you're a coach now. I'm a coach, and the conversations that we've been having with people for years now, and looking at our own is like, how do you define how you want to be fulfilled, and how do you, if you're especially if you're somebody who thinks in terms of helping others, how do you bring other people up with you? It's building your own podium. You have figured out the design of your own podium.
Yeah, I have. I believe I have, and I believe I continue to ideate, and refine
Iterate. Yeah.
what that podium is, what it looks like, and what it means,
Yeah.
right? And some of it is tied to the time that we're living in, right? I think that um, we all need to have the courage to embrace our own truth and embrace the essence of who we are so that we can stand on a podium that means something to us, that really means something to us.